So, Archetypes with Meghan is back again, and this week's episode is the upending of the angry black woman stereotype, featuring Issa Rae and Ziwe. And I kid you not, the episode is under 50 minutes, but I could have done with double the amount of time that we were given. It was so well done and went by so quickly that it kind of felt like a 20-minute conversation. Listening in and talking amongst girlfriends. That's how it felt to me. So many identifiable conversations of this episode. Now, Issa Rae, as most of you will know, is a fabulous actress. And we knew that Issa was going to be on the show sometime, but we didn't exactly know when. Issa had revealed that she would be on the show, so that was no surprise.
So you're going to be on an upcoming episode of Meghan Markle's podcast.
Is that confirmed?
She's confirmed, yeah, it's out.
Oh, okay, yeah, I sure am. Okay, yeah, then I am, and I'm excited.
Can you tell me a little bit about how she reached out to you, how it all came together?
Yeah, we've been, talking about doing it for a while, and it was just a matter of like making schedules up, and then meeting her was like talking to an old friend. She's just so open and personable, and I just love what she's doing with the podcast, and I got to talk about things that I haven't really got a chance to talk about on other interview platforms, so it was fun.
The conversations between Meghan and Ziwe and Meghan and Issa Rae and of the other professionals who were included was so relatable. And I feel like many women, regardless of your race, will know what it feels like to be fearful or apprehensive of having too much of an emotional response when nonsense is thrown your way. Because even if your reaction is warranted, the topic of conversation and the focus will be on your reaction as opposed to the issue at hand. They're certainly not going to address the disrespectful or fill in the blank attitude that was directed at you. You're going to be seen as the problematic issue here. As Black women, we have to not only deal with possibly being labeled as a dramatic or sensitive or overly emotional. You have the added stereotype of the angry Black woman. And I've dealt with so many situations over the years during my college career, undergrad, grad school, or in my career in corporate America. You deal with people who say things or do things that are so disrespectful, uncalled for, and I know that if I react a certain way, then I'm not going to get what I need out of that exchange, because we're going to be focused on me and my reaction, again, even if it's warranted. So these topics were so relatable, which really shouldn't be a surprise, because the whole premise of Archetypes is the labels and stereotypes that we all have to deal with as women. Now, them going deeper into the hearings of Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown and how poised and calm she was under pressure was something that I feel like a lot of us can identify with. Issa said that she didn't look at it. I looked at some of it. I couldn't stomach looking at the entire thing, simply because of the same reason Issa gave. You know what was going to come. You know. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to deal with because it just reminds you of situations that you've had to deal with. But Justice Ketanji did it with such poise and such grace, and I love that they went into that discussion during this week's episode. Now, while Meghan was speaking to Ziwe, she also revealed that she is 43% Nigerian, I believe. And Ziwe was surprised, just as surprised as I am, surprised as a lot of people are. But reading a little bit more on it, I believe some people were showing that a lot of African Americans have a certain percentage of Nigerian heritage or African heritage, obviously, slave trade. But that was a very interesting revelation. The Nigerian delegation on social media has been having a field day with this. They're loving it, talking about the jollof rice and putting the headdresses on different photos with Harry and Meghan. And there was even a resurgence of a video of some wonderful young African ladies singing African Queen to Meghan on one of her visits to the motherland. So that was nice to see as well. Now, the commentary from the professionals, each episode you have your guest star or guest stars plural for this case, but there's also commentary from professionals in the field who specialize in the topic of conversation. And I kid you not, like the entire conversation between the guests and the professionals and Meghan just blended seamlessly and was so well done. A lot of people, from what I've been reading in the comments, a lot of people are sort of neck and neck between this being their favorite podcast episode or the one with Mindy. I don't know. This one takes the cake for me. Like I said, it feels like conversations that I've had with my girlfriends. It feels like something that we all can relate to. Not just women of color, but women in general. You felt and dealt with situations like that before. So it just was a very easy listen and a very fun one. And I, for one, vote for longer episodes, okay? Because I could have done with a lot more of this. Now, it was also revealed that Archewell will be making a donation to Save the Children and UNICEF Nigeria to support communities in Nigeria affected by the devastating floods. Now, to conclude the podcast, Meghan used the audio of the legendary poet Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. Now, there's some who say she must be listening, or someone on her team has been listening into Sussex Stands and Sussex Squatties, because there's a lot of Sussex Stands who have constantly used the words of this particular poem as it relates to Meghan's experience within the British royal family and what the aftermath of what she deals with, the amount of insane hate. And we've all been thinking, like, man, this is heavy to read, to deal with, to listen to as a spectator. We don't know how Meghan does it. Honestly, I think it would break me. But Meghan continues to persist with her head held high and with a smile on her face. Right? Sometimes she gives you a little read, but in a very classy way. But she continues to persist, and not just persist, but thrive. And this poem is a perfect fit for that. So I love that she included this in this week's conversation.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high. Still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.